Virgo, before anything else, take a moment and breathe. If you found this message, it's not by accident. There is a reason your energy aligned with this reading right now, and what I'm about to share may explain emotions you've been carrying for a long time without fully understanding why. If this resonates with you at any point, make sure you like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe because these messages come through when they're meant to reach you. Now listen carefully. I'm tuning into your energy, Virgo, and the first thing that comes through is something very emotional. This connection did not start recently. This person didn't suddenly fall for you. They loved you from the very beginning, from the first real moment they saw you for who you are. And that's exactly why it scared them. I'm seeing the energy of the Ace of Cups combined with fear. Pure feelings, genuine affection, real emotional depth, but wrapped in hesitation, insecurity, and self-doubt. This person felt something with you that they were not prepared for. You didn't just attract them, you shook them. Virgo, you came into their life like calm after chaos. You felt safe, you felt warm, you felt real, and that's what made them pull back. Because when someone has lived through emotional wounds, disappointments, or instability, real love feels dangerous. Peace feels unfamiliar. Stability feels too good to be true. This person looked at you and thought, there's no way someone like this could choose me. And instead of leaning in, they froze. I'm seeing the Two of Cups in their energy, but crossed by the Nine of Swords. They spent many nights thinking about you, overthinking, replaying conversations, wondering if they said too much or not enough, wondering if they were worthy of what you were offering so effortlessly. Virgo, you didn't have to try. You didn't have to chase. You were just being yourself, kind, attentive, emotionally present. And that level of sincerity exposed their fears. This person has a history of self-sabotage. When things start going well, they panic. When love feels real, they question it. When happiness appears, they expect it to disappear. So instead of opening up, they hesitated. Instead of expressing their feelings, they hid them. Instead of choosing you fully, they stayed stuck between desire and fear. I'm seeing the Fool reversed. This tells me they wanted to take the leap with you, but they were terrified of falling. And Virgo, this is important. Their distance, their silence, their confusion was never because they didn't care. It was because they cared too much. They saw a future with you, and that thought overwhelmed them. Now I'm pulling the Empress energy around you. This shows how they see you: nurturing, loving, grounded, someone who knows their worth even when they don't say it out loud. You represent something long-term, something real, something meaningful, and that made them question themselves. They felt like they needed to get their life together before they could deserve you. They felt like they had to heal first, fix things first, become better first. But instead of communicating that, they retreated. Virgo, I feel regret here, deep regret. The Five of Cups shows me that they look back at moments with you and think, I should have said more. I should have done more. I shouldn't have been so afraid. They didn't expect to fall for you. And when they did, it shook their sense of control. This person is not emotionally shallow. They are emotionally overwhelmed. And the connection with you triggered wounds they didn't even know were still open. I'm also seeing the Page of Cups coming forward. This is an apology energy. A message that comes from the heart but is hesitant, unsure, emotionally vulnerable. They want to express how they feel, but they're scared of rejection. They're scared you've moved on. They're scared it's too late. And Virgo, here's the part you need to hear. They never stopped feeling for you, even if time passed, even if distance grew, even if silence took over. Your name still lives in their thoughts. Your energy still affects them. They still compare others to you, and no one measures up. Because what you offered was real. Now the energy shifts to the star, healing, hope, a second chance not guaranteed but possible. This card tells me that this connection isn't finished emotionally. There is still a bond, still a pull, still unfinished energy between you. But the universe is also asking you something, Virgo. Do you want someone who loves you silently or someone who chooses you openly? Because love without courage becomes pain. This person is being pushed to face their fear, to stop hiding, to stop running, to stop convincing themselves they're not enough. And whether they step forward or not, you are entering a phase of clarity. You are beginning to understand that you didn't imagine this connection. You weren't too much. You weren't wrong. You weren't delusional. You were just real in a world where many people are afraid of real. So here's the message for you, Virgo. Yes, this person loved you from the start. Yes, the connection was genuine. Yes, it scared them because it felt too good to be true. But now the universe is shifting things. Either they rise to meet you or you rise above them. And either way, you win because you deserve a love that doesn't hide. You deserve a love that chooses you without fear. You deserve a love that feels safe, stable, and open. And this chapter, whether it brings closure, reconnection, or clarity, is here to free you. If this touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me in the comments if this resonated with your situation. And Virgo, trust this. What's meant for you will never be afraid to love you. Ooh, woo, what comes next is important, so stay with me. The cards are shifting again, and I'm seeing something very specific now. This isn't just about feelings that were hidden in the past. This is about movement. This is about action that has been delayed, not denied. There is someone around you who has reached a breaking point internally. The energy is intense. They can't suppress it anymore. I'm seeing the Ten of Wands mixed with the Knight of Cups. This tells me they've been carrying the weight of their emotions for a long time, pretending they're fine, pretending they moved on, pretending you didn't matter as much as you did, but that mask is cracking. Virgo, this person has tried to distract themselves, work, routines, other people, social media, silence. None of it worked. Because every time they slow down, your energy comes back stronger. Your name comes to their mind out of nowhere. Songs remind them of you. Certain times of the day trigger memories. Even dreams have been bringing you back into their awareness. And here's the shocking part. You weren't just someone they liked. You became a reference point for love in their life. I'm seeing the Six of Cups very clearly. This is nostalgia, but deeper than that, this is emotional imprinting. You left a mark, the kind that doesn't fade with time. They compare everyone to you, whether they admit it or not. Now the energy shifts again, and I'm seeing the Judgment card very strongly. This is a wake-up call. Something is happening around them that's forcing them to reflect. It could be a conversation, a disappointment, or seeing you from a distance, thriving, changing, glowing differently. But whatever it is, it's making them realize that losing you wasn't just another chapter. It was a turning point. They are starting to understand that what scared them wasn't you, it was the version of themselves they would have had to become to keep you. Virgo, you represented growth, commitment, emotional honesty. And that required courage they didn't have at the time. I'm also seeing a lot of secrecy here. The moon energy is strong. This person talks about you privately. They ask about you indirectly. They check up on you without making themselves visible. They want to know if you're happy. They want to know if you're with someone. They want to know if they still matter. But they're afraid to ask directly because they fear the answer. There is also guilt here, heavy guilt. They know they mishandled the connection. They know they were inconsistent. They know they sent mixed signals. And they're scared that if they come forward now, you'll see through them and say, why now? Virgo, I need you to hear this clearly. They believe you were too good for them, not in an ego way, in a soul level way. You brought stability where they were chaotic. You brought clarity where they were confused. You brought sincerity where they were guarded. And instead of rising to meet you, they shrank. That's why they pulled away. Now I'm seeing the wheel of fortune turning. This tells me that timing is shifting, energy is shifting. Something that was stagnant is beginning to move. This doesn't automatically mean reunion, it means truth. Truth wants to surface. There is a strong possibility of unexpected contact, a message that feels emotional, hesitant, maybe even awkward. They won't come in perfectly, they won't have all the right words, but it will be sincere. And Virgo, your energy right now is very different from before. You're no longer waiting. You're no longer chasing. You're no longer doubting your worth. The Queen of Pentacles is surrounding you, grounded, self-respecting, calm. You know what you bring to the table now, and that changes everything. If this person comes forward, it will be because they finally realize that love requires bravery, not perfection. But here's the final message, and it's important. The universe is not asking you to go backwards. It's asking you to choose wisely. If they come back healed, accountable, emotionally open, that's one path. If they come back confused, fearful, and inconsistent, that's another. You don't need to prove anything anymore. You were never too much. You were never wrong. You were never imagining the depth of this connection. They felt it too. They just didn't know how to hold it. And now, Virgo, the energy is clear. What happens next depends on whether they choose courage and whether you choose peace. Trust yourself. Trust what you feel. And remember, real love does not make you doubt your value. It meets you where you are.